it going, everybody? Welcome, Level and Diecast. Yes, it is 2 months in the making. 2 months in the making. It's taken me to put this together at the pegs. This has been a very, very difficult set to find this year. 2025 Collector Mix number 1. This is probably old news for most people at this point, but we are covering it for completion of the channel. Besides, I'm going to crack them open anyways. I want to bring the information to you guys. As you can see, this is the brand new card art for 2025. These have been floating around for a little bit. This first mix has been around since early January, roughly. Very, very difficult to find. Not a lot of stores carrying them these days, which is a little bit frustrating. Details on the back, should you want some details, there you go. Nothing particularly fancy, but I do like the new card art. Looks good. New style. Kicking it off with number 1. This is a brand spanking new casting for 2025. 2022 Mercedes-Benz EQS. Brand spanking new for this year. So we'll get this cracked out. Get our EQS out of here. As per usual, there is the box art. Looks pretty good. The card art looks pretty good. You know, Matchbox registered TMGB and abroad. It's pretty good representation of an old school box. Nothing particularly fancy. It looks like they got rid of the blueprints on there. So no more blueprints on the box. I don't get to critique the blueprints no more. I'm a little disappointed about that one. Just a little bit. All right, here is our EQS brand spanking new casting. This does have, of course, the real riders on there. The details look a little bit weird because there's like residue or over molding from the rubber tires, and it interferes with any kind of print that they have on the wheels. This is a known problem with Matchbox. If you move this around, you can see it's not that it doesn't have print on the wheel rims. It's just the fact that there's overages by the rubber tires, which is unfortunate. But hopefully they'll get that squared away at some point in time. It does have an EQS right there on that little quarter panel right there. Red, lots of gray for the window striping and things like that. Prints on the front look pretty good. It's a pretty involved grille, all of these EQS models, so I think that looks pretty good. I think the details on that one are pretty good as well. Details in the back, relatively average. This is EQS 580 maybe. Mercedes logo. Prints in the back are not the greatest. This casting's not all that great in general, but it's not horrifically bad. But that is a metal base. So you are looking at a metal on metal. Dual metals for this one. So pretty happy to get a dual metal base. Other than that, it's a pretty meh casting. 1421, by the way, is your brand spanking new man number for the EQS. All right, number 2 of 20. Not a new casting, but the very first time we're seeing this in premium garb. This was a new casting last year. This is the Bizzarini 5300 GT Corsa Revival. Looking pretty fancy. Really like that. So we'll crack this one open for numero dos. Get this one out here. This one does have a moving parts, obviously. Previously saw it in moving parts. There is the card art. Card art looks absolutely fantastic. Really digging the card art. I like the kind of like different style, kind of zoomed in on the opposite side of the card. So we'll put that there. There is our Bizzarini. Uses the tri-spokes with a little bit of silver print on there. Of course, it is Real Riders. They all have Real Riders. This one does have a plastic base, just because, you know, it's from the moving parts line. Looks pretty good, though. I like the details on there. It's not dramatically different than the moving parts, although we do get taillight prints, which is really nice. Also get Bizzarini, which is printed on the deck lid, which is also nice. Number 65 is the number on this one. Do we get hood print? Or yeah, under the hood print, I should say. Yes, we do. So a little bit of print underneath the hood there. It's nothing really great, but it's all right. There's not a lot of detail to it, I should say. The print's fine. There's a lot of print to it, but just not a lot of detail to the print. And then there is the print on the front. That looks pretty good. I don't mind it. I like it in green. Looks pretty good in green. Nothing particularly fancy. 1455 man number for that existing one. All right, next one up, number 3 of 20. I think we've only seen 1 or 2 versions of this casting ever in its life. First time in premium, though, 1970 Honda N600 Off-Road. This is number 3 of the mix. We'll get this out of here. Pop that in there. This one obviously not moving parts, just came from the main line. Prints look pretty good. It's a relatively average one, but the prints look pretty decent. So we'll throw that guy down there. There is our 70 Honda in 600. Again, just some overages with the rubber tires. It affects the print on the wheel rim. So same problem with this one. Prints on the front look pretty good. So Honda symbol, Honda on the top. No prints for the little integrated fog lights up there, which is a little bit of a bummer. Desert Endurance Race, DER. This has been around in Matchbox for a little while. Actually, it's been around for probably better of 15 years maybe. They've been using that DER moniker for a while. And then there is the deets in the back. A little bit of taillight prints on there. Nothing particularly fancy. Same prints on this side. You can see it does have a fuel filler cap, which looks pretty good. And, of course, Real Riders, that does have plastic base. And then we got a man number on the bottom. Nope, no man number on the bottom of this one. Interesting. I guess I never noticed that. So there was that. Now, this is the reason why it took me 2 months, 2+ months to put this mix together. This is a very, very difficult model to find. Number 4 of 20, this is your 1978 Ford Bronco. New casting last year, super popular. First time in premium garb. And, of course, this actually is a hearkening to a real Bronco as far as the deco is concerned. So maybe that's one of the reasons why it's probably so popular, maybe. Just because it's kind of a realistic, like super realistic, representation. There is the box art, looks pretty good. And then there is the other side, nothing particularly fancy. Throw that down there for number 4. There is our Bronco with the nice, 70s style sunset flare. Looking pretty good on the side. Of course, this model does have a separate piece for the topper, although it does not come off or anything like that. It's not convertible. This is their newer off-road wheel, which looks good. Really digging that newer off-road wheel. I don't like it in regular gray. On the card art, it's like a silver color. It's not chrome, but it's like a silver color. It would have been nice to get a little bit of silver print on there. Prints on the front are fantastic, though. Prints look really, really good, really crisp. Grill's done up, headlights are done up. Digging it. Details in the back says Ford. Taillight prints are very good. Does have a chrome base, which is really nice. 1468 is the man number. And then, of course, open up the hood. And unfortunately, no, we don't get any print underneath the hood, which is super, super disappointing. But you see, it is super detailed under there. A lot of good detail underneath the hood, but unfortunately, no print. And I'm pretty sure the reason we don't get any print is because the front pass has to be done with the base, and then the rear pass is done on the casting. I think if they were both done on the same piece, we would be able to get print on that interior piece. But this one's pretty good. This one is very, very good. Very, very difficult to find that one. That is definitely a pain in the butt to get. All right, last one in the mix. Number 5 of 20. Yes, 5 in the mix. This one's seen better days, but that's okay. This is your M5 Police. Looking pretty snazzy for number 5. And the packaging's, pretty tore up on this one. I actually had this one for a long time, too. It was the first one I found. So I wasn't going to leave it. So I'm going to crack them open anyways. It's okay. The box is damaged. Card art looks fantastic. It looks like it's actually stanced, which looks really, really nice. And then there is the back of the box. The box is destroyed. So as we go through 2025, you guys can remember that destroyed box as we continue to put all this stuff together. Here we go. We'll get our M5 out of here for the very last one. This one is better with the rubber. Not super great, but it is better with the rubber. That super high quality style print on this one too. Like what Hot Wheels does, where it's almost like a hydro form or hydro printing. It's very, very interesting. It's done exactly like Car Culture. If you know Car Culture, that's exactly the way this print is done, which is interesting because none of the rest of those are printed like that. So very, very interesting that this one gets it. But this one gets a huge amount of print on it, which is pretty nice. There is the print on the front. It says Matchbox. Headlights look pretty good. There's a little bit of black behind them, which looks a little bit weird from different angles, but it's not horribly bad. And then, of course, there is the deets on the back. They don't have to really wrap around the taillights. It looks like they did a great job with that. Put easy on the bumper, Matchbox, and BMW logo. So nothing particularly fancy. This one is also a plastic base. Matchbox 966 is the man number. That cast has been around for a long, long time. So there you go. That is 2025 Collector Mix number 1. Finally got it. Sorry it took 2.5 months. That Bronco is a absolute diabolical model to try to find. It's It's really, really, really hard to find that model. 2 per case, 1 per case, 2 per case, 2 per case, or no, I'm sorry, 2 per case, 1 per case, 2 per case, 1 per case, 2 per case. So these two are really more the difficult, but the Bronco is really, really difficult. So anyways, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about those. We're going to roll on. Level M.cast. Peace!